Monsters Inc. is a film about what happens when people are working in a company. First of all, it shows a typical working environment and the relationship between different people in it. Mike and Sully worked in Monsters Incorporated, and the CEO was Mr. Waternoose. Sully was the best scarer and always broke the record. Therefore, Waternoose liked and appreciated him very much, since he had a great contribution to the company. Sully seemed to have a higher status than the other scarer in the factory, and made Randall being jealous of his popularity. Randall was always finding some way to win or to surpass Mike and Sully's team and become the best scarer.
I'm in the zone today, Sullivan. Gonna be doing some serious scaring, putting up some big numbers.
However, he didn't success at all. Sully kept being the top one in every month. Therefore, Randall was not friendly towards Mike and Sully. He actually was very indifferent to all the people in the company. Let's turn our focus on the relationship between Mike and Sully. Mike was probably the coach of Sully. He trained Sully every day to keep his body to the best condition and had a high performance during working.
Scary feet, scary feet, scary feet. Oh, the kid's awake! Okay, scary feet, scary feet, scary feet, scary feet, scary feet. Kid's asleep!
Also, he was responsible for setting up the equipment and doors for Sully to scare people, and he wrote the report afterwards. Mike and Sully work as a team to scare people. They cooperate with each other. However, I'm not sure that they are friends or not, since they only talked about the things they did in the factory, about breaking the record or other things related to their work. They actually seldom care about each other's lives. Their conversation was very technical and informational, but not emotional. This film also talks about the dark side of a company. In order to maximize the profits of the company, some supervisors would do something illegal and ruthless. In this case, Waternoose noticed that there was an energy crisis. They need more electricity to power the city. Nevertheless, the children nowadays were harder to scare, and the factory had more and more accidents on children. Waternoose found very difficult to maintain the high energy output of the company. Thus, he had an idea to kidnap thousands of children and use the scaring machine to make the children scream and produce huge amount of energy. However, this behavior already violates the ethics. Furthermore, some companies just treat employee as a tool or equipment, but not as a human, like the Monsters Inc. When Waternoose found that the scaring machine can produce much more energy than anyone in the factory, he didn't think Sully was important anymore. He even tried to drive him away and left him in a human world in the sake of implementation of his plan. Although Sully was the best scarer, Waternoose thought that he was useless after the emergence of the scaring machine.
I have no choice. Times have changed. Scaring isn't enough anymore. But kidnapping children? I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die, and I'll silence anyone who gets in my way!
Therefore, the film shows us that the world is sometimes cruel and merciless. Hence, we should choose to work in a company that cares about employees, since it's very important to our work. If a company didn't provide enough welfare to employees, workers will find very difficult to survive, and they will easily have working pressure, and eventually lowers the working efficiency.